Support comes from Missouri Forest Products Association, committed to sustainable and sound conservation of the state's forests, which support more than 41,000 Missouri jobs, resulting in a $10 billion industry. ChooseWood.com.
This is St. Louis on the Air from St. Louis Public Radio. I'm Elaine Cha. Lifelong friendships are truly special. Growing up with someone who's not blood related, but family just the same, someone who holds you accountable and supports you through good and bad, that is a rare gift. And even rarer, creating art together and navigating multiple career paths while becoming closer than ever. That's the story of hip-hop duo Souls of Liberty. Joining me is Souls of Liberty's Tenelle Winmore. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having us.
And the other half of Souls of Liberty, Ryan Brown, also known as Big Esco. Ryan, welcome. And thank you both for being here on St. Louis on the Air.
Thanks for having us.
So the cover of your new album is a picture of you two as kids, right?
Yeah.
Describe what's happening in the picture. I mean, where was it taken? And how old were you at the time, Ryan?
We were probably 13 and 12. I want to say it was my
13th birthday party.
Okay.
So you probably were 11, actually. You probably haven't even turned 12 yet.
Yeah, you so old.
So yeah, 13 and 11. It was in my backyard in North St. Louis.
Okay.
And I think I might have had a sleepover or something like that.
Yeah.
With him and my brother.
So 11 and 13 that's not when you started rapping together, right?
I mean, we probably started rapping before that.
Yeah.
In terms of just, our friendship and just growing up loving rap. So,
yeah.
But yeah,
we were definitely
rapping.
talking about
We
rap
definitely
then,
were rapping and
for sure.
consuming all the rap that we could that our parents may or may not have known about.
Okay.
So.
We were not Souls of Liberty yet.
So
I'll
when did that happen? When did Souls of Liberty, how was it born?
So my big cousin, his rap name is Pretty Russ. He was on a song with Keith Sweat called Twisted.
Okay.
And unfortunately, he passed away in 2008. Mm-hmm. But he went platinum. He's from U-City. A lot of people in the city know him.
Yeah.
And that kind of inspired me to take it more serious. And me and Ryan were always in his mother's basement at their house or in the attic trying to rap and do everything already. So I just kind of convinced him. Soulja Boy blew up. And we were like, you know what? We got to do this. Because we feel like we rap a lot better than Soulja Boy.
Uh-huh.
And that was kind of us getting started. And I kind of forced him to rap with me.
Yeah, because we had a period where it was like maybe middle school, early high school, where he would write a rap every day. And it was just like...
Tenelle, you did?
I think like my grandmother died. Everything is around death all of a sudden. But my grandmother died my freshman year. And I feel like we went to Metro High School or whatever. And I kind of that was my way of coping kind of with it. And I just rewriting raps every day.
Okay.
And at that time, I didn't know it, but I was very much so like in the early stages of my like curation, just like collecting magazines. I was really starting to get into the culture in a different type of way, like participate in it in a different kind of way. And so he just knew that. And so he would, if I was ever inspired by rap, I'd write to it too. I was always just kind of writing and doing stuff just in general. And then like 2008, like he said, we like put out a freestyle video on Facebook. Just put it out. Yep, what's up? It's Ryan Tenelle. We rapping. We Souls of Liberty.
Yeah.
And because I think I was in history class and heard about Sons of Liberty.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Chambers.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Chambers and IB History of Americas. And we learned about Sons of Liberty and how they were like fighting for America's freedom and all that stuff. So it just dawned on me. I was like, Souls of Liberty sounds like a rock band, which is something I wanted. I didn't want it to sound like a rap group.
Oh.
It's like, so let's have like just like a cool band name.
Yeah,
So it's like Souls of Liberty is tight because it's like we're fighting for like our soul.
Yeah.
It's almost like kind of how Childish Gambino got his name. Like it don't really got nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
But it was cool. And we was just like, and then people started feeling like it actually fit who we were.
Yeah. That was never the intention.
Okay.
It just happened.
So did you all start performing together in middle school or high school? Like how did that all come about?
Separately, actually.
Yeah. Okay. So we always had the talent. So like, I had times where I did rap. Like I even, for my 5th grade promotions, I wrote a song and rapped to Bow Wow. I want to thank you. I remixed that.
Okay.
So like, we always would have times where you just rapping in the Black History program or doing something.
And then middle school for me, Shout out to Shorty the Prince, he's over at 104.1 in the home team. But he was an 8th grader when I was a 6th grader. And he was like the only kid on the radio. So he was like a big deal. So it was like he was a rapper. So it was like I secretly rapped. And so anytime anybody would like rap in a cypher or do this and that, like I would go rap and do that. But again, like he was in elementary school, I was in middle school. I rapped another time, like 8th grade, just like super randomly for like a Black History Month program or something like that. But it was like, it wasn't a secret, but we were athletes. We were basketball players. Like that's how people knew us. For being basketball players, not for being artists.
Okay.
Yeah.
So clearly, I mean, and I'm not a St. Louis native, as I've talked about a lot before. And in the last several months, we've talked a lot about particularly hip hop in St. Louis, right? There's a legacy. You know people personally. I mean, like 6th grade, 8th grade, talking about a 104.1 DJ. That is it's hometown in such a natural way, in an organic way. I mean, is music then the thing that has kept the two of you close?
Yes, I mean, he's just my brother. You know what I mean? I feel like beyond just the music, hip hop is just our culture. You know what I mean? So
we would talk about rap, and we would talk about it regardless. Even if we decided to never put out another song, we would talk about rap. We would talk about beats. We would talk about lyrics. We would talk about people's careers. We would just do that.
We're fans of it. But you talk about our first iteration, so I would say the first 10,000 hours, and maybe the second. And in the first 10,000 hours, I feel like I was more instrumental in having us doing the music.
Yeah.
And then I kind of grew once we got more into the industry and saw what it was about. I stopped wanting to do it. And then this second phase, the 20,000 hours, where we at now, Ryan has been more pushing the music because he started DJing and doing different things, and it helped me get my love back for doing the art in the way that we used to.
Okay. So is that part of the reason there have been gaps in time between your albums? So you just mentioned 10,000 Hours, which was released in 2014. Your first album, though, was Carpe Diem in 2010. Then in 2018, there was Surrounded by Idiots. And this most recent one, 20,000 Hours, Volume 1, Return of the Gods, was released just this year. So why have there been such gaps in time between each of these projects?
We probably got two different answers. I'll give my answer.
Okay, yeah. Ryan?
I think that it's two parts. The first part is we are not microwave artists. So it's just like we really create when we are inspired. So it was like we were having at that time early on a struggle and a push and a pull between like our families, because it was like we went to the top 40 high school, all this other stuff. We want to rap, and we know we are right that we are very good at rap. So it was like we could only rap part-time. So it was like in between school, in the summer, outside of summer jobs. And then we never had any help, really. No manager, no anything like that, outside of his other cousin, Clever, who became our producer, engineer, and stuff like that. But it's just really just us just trying to navigate and figure stuff out. And then the second thing to me is just like fatigue. We got to a point like after we struggled all the way through college and kept rapping, kept it up, we had an opportunity to open up for Wale in New York and Times Square, won this contest, did this big thing. But it was like we ran into the wall of like, oh, we don't actually have any help. We don't have anybody shaking hands for us. We don't have anybody doing this and that, and that. It's really just Ryan and Tenelle.
Yeah.
And so then it just was like, well, let's move to Chicago. Let's move away from home. And then that sent us on another trip. And it just was like us. It's just always just been us. And so I think we got to the point to where, like he talks about, I realized that like so much had happened since we had left at home and just our journey in general that we kind of lost sight of what we were doing it for.
Okay.
We never started rapping to make money. But now all of a sudden everything was around the success of the group and the numbers and trying to get signed and all this other stuff. And that's not what gave us the leverage and the fuel to go. It was the passion for the music and having something to say.
Yeah.
And so once I felt like I know we got something to say because we weren't rapping, like you said.
Right.
I'm like, no, it's time for us to say something because I think people are ready to hear us again.
Tenelle?
Yeah, I would say, like he said, life is happening at all times. And like a lot of rappers put on a facade of who they are, and it's not really them. And we found that out even more as we got deeper into the industry, where it's like he might have a $20,000 outfit on, but he need to borrow $1 to get something from a cheese sandwich or so. You know what I mean? So it's like I think for me that's what it was. It's like I couldn't be fake. This is really who we are. We're really vulnerable in our art. We're not just trying to make a hit record, even though we got hit records. You know what I mean? But so yeah, that would be my thing, is just dealing with life, growing as men. You know, especially being a black man in America, we had to get knowledge of who we are as people. We had to grow. We didn't, you know, he mentions on the album, we come from single mother homes and stuff like that. So it's like, we didn't have guidance. You know, my big cousin who was in the industry, he died when I was in high school. So it's like the people who would have been there to help push us forward were not.
Yeah.
So
we made up this path of being rappers. Like if we were just gonna be like, we're gonna go to school, we had opportunities to play college basketball and different levels and go get, you know, but it was like, that's not who we are.
we want to be us. And this, like what you said, the social pressure of it's like, your mother wants for you to get a degree. I finally went to school to get it afterwards, but I dropped out to go pursue music and do certain things. And, you know, so it's like, just life.
Yeah. Well, and as far as life goes, I mean, the two of you have careers outside music. It's not the only thing that you do. Tenelle, you're a teacher at Metro High School and a coach, right? Basketball
I'm
coach?
the athletic director at Metro High School, and I'm the varsity basketball coach,
And Ryan, you're a creative director and a copywriter. So how is it that those worlds come together? And in terms of your writing or your teaching, are those things impacted by hip-hop or vice versa?
Hip-hop impacts everything.
Okay.
So it's just like, that is like my religion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Can you give me an example of
Allen Iverson,
Okay.
he's hip-hop. Versus Michael Jordan, not really hip-hop.
Okay. Well, and of Allen Iverson, it's what is it? 42 bars. There's
Yeah.
He raps
But
too.
even in the way he looks, the way he presents himself, you know what I mean? It's some people that can throw on a pair of tennis shoes and be cool. Some people that's got to wear dress shoes.
Yeah.
You know, like Steve Harvey, he's not really hip-hop. But
Yeah,
Cedric
we
the
love
Entertainer,
Steve.
Cedric the
Steve's
Entertainer
lots of other things.
is
Yes.
hip-hop.
Yeah.
You know, Dave Chappelle is hip-hop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of that kind of thing. So yeah, the hip-hop, it is central to who we are. And I think with it turning 50, we've been able to see its maturation and its growth.
Yeah.
You know, hip-hop can have a cane. Hip-hop can be a baby. Hip-hop can be in France. Hip-hop can be on the north side of St. Louis. Like, it can be so many things. And I think before, when it was just rappers, which it never was just rappers, but when it was just perceived to be just rappers, people tried to protect us from something that like we should have took more ownership on. And I think like that was just a disconnect that like we were having generationally, and even just like with our peers. Like we didn't grow up, like though we grew up in the same city as everybody, we didn't have the same taste as everybody. Like in high school, we had this thing that we used to say, surrounded by idiots. You know?
That was one of the
That's
2018
like a
release,
mantra
right?
For us, because that's how
Yeah.
we felt being in St. Louis.
Tattooed on me.
That's how we felt.
That's permanent, dude.
Yeah, that is because that's real. Because we always say it. You either when you hear it, you either feel like one or you feel like you're surrounded by it.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
really no black and white in between it. When you hear it, you be like, I do feel that way.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? And so that's just always kind of been our thing. So we just try to really not force that, but like make sure creatively that we're sharing how we really feel, because we know we represent almost like a silent group.
And I think with the success of like Nelly and even now Sexy Red, shout out to Sexy, like, but it makes you feel like to become a commercial person or to do something mainstream, you have to only be the caricature, is that the word?
Yeah.
Of what people think a black person from St. Louis is. And we never wanted to do that. Even though we are from those same, I've been on Margaretta many a day. I
love those songs.
I was at Country Grammar video shoot. You know what I mean? So it's like, but at the same time, I'm me. And but when you have an academic background coming from Metro, like, you know, and stuff like that, people expect you to present yourself a certain way. It's like, oh, you're not a rapper, you're smart. And it's like, rappers are smart.
Yes, they are.
But from perception, it's like, no, rappers kill people and sell drugs. And you know what I'm saying? And so we kind of have been trying to change the narrative. And even with me and my work, me being hip hop is about the babies. It's about the children. It's about the next generation. It's about teaching them. And so we learned and became the men we are because of the wisdom that we got from these raps and these songs. And so now we're attempting to do that in real life. It's about community. Yeah. And with us going to Metro, I feel connected.
So with the work that, Tenelle, you do directly with students, what do they know about the music that you make? And how does that connect you with them?
It makes me like the coolest teacher in the world because we're not super far removed from them. Like, they're the generation behind us. So I could relate to them more than, say, maybe a teacher who is a baby boomer. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because they experience and see the world differently. So I think it brings us closer. It makes me realize that I do have a connection with the youth and that they need to hear what I'm saying. But they love it. Mm-hmm. They love it. I mean, if you go to Metro right now, you will see surrounded by idiot shirts all over the place, and people, because we are the same. We just a generation ahead of them, and so I think they look to us like people that they could trust to help them grow along on their journey.
Yeah.
That connective tissue, I feel like, though, that's what hip hop is, because it's a language. It's the way you dress. It's the way you carry yourself. So, like, we're showing them that, like, yeah, you don't have to wear a collar shirt to be successful, bro. Because y'all know me, and y'all know that I'm living my life in a certain kind of way and doing certain kind of things. And every time y'all see me, I got on a hoodie, I got on a T-shirt. Y'all watch me on Instagram. Yeah. Y'all know I'm not like some like stiff. I'm not being myself. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that confidence is something that we just try to really give them.
Yeah. Confidence. We want to give them confidence. You could be smart and not considered a lame or a nerd. You know what I mean? It's just like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, just make it normal. You should be able to read. Like.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. We're talking with Ryan Big Esco Brown and Tenelle Winmore. Together, they're Souls of Liberty, a St. Louis hip-hop duo whose newest album, 20,000 Hours, Volume 1, Return of the Gods, has come out just this year. So let's listen to some of the music off this album, and I want to talk about a handful of them too. Let's take a listen to 16 Zips from Souls of Liberty's new album, 20,000 Hours, Volume 1, Return of the Gods.
The hustle is real, I'm not endorsing it. Do shit for a look. You can always tell who forcing it. It's unfortunate. I grew up enforcing it. Front porch with it, then change shit and went corporate. It's too many bags to get and tags to pop.
Show and prove, say less. They be feeling the way, but it's gonna stay on their chest. Check nigga, cause we playing chess. Real life, we really the best. Grew up where you wasn't at. We not about to glorify that. But know if it do come to that, refined, but it could be that. We building these businesses up. The youth is gonna follow our steps. No dad, I follow myself. Survive, no cereal milk. So f it, we making it flip. So f it, I'm taking them risks. And taking what come with this shit. Everybody judging the kids. Nobody gonna help them. They watching the moves you make. Just point out we rich. Money a tool, you could take all from me. I stand on my 10 and keep hustling shit. I'm a winner, I never could quit. Y'all beginners, I've been on this. You got money, you still a little. They respect me wherever I've been. She know that she.
And that was 16 Zips featuring Jay DeMall. It's one of the tracks off the new album from Souls of Liberty. And that album is called 20,000 Hours, Volume 1, Return of the Gods. Does Zips refer to zip codes?
Actually, it refers to an ounce of weed.
Oh.
Because 16 ounces is a pound.
Oh, right. Okay.
So
I've been educated. Duly noted.
They don't got zips in Canada.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of a thought process of like when you're a young hustler and you got 1 pound. To a normal person, that seems like so much weed. Like, what do you need a pound of weed for? That's crazy, right? But then it's just like, to that person, that's nothing because they want more.
Right.
And so it's like this, like when you're at that point, you got a decision to make.
There's also a track called Watchin' featuring Shauna B. And we talked earlier, you mentioned Sexy Red. There's this moment around St. Louis women and St. Louis rappers. Who is Shauna B?
Shauna B is a rapper from, I guess, like
From
the west side of St. Louis.
Yeah, she went to Soldan High School.
Yeah, and she's been around the scene probably around since like 2012, 13, 14, coming up with like LA Foes, who's another prominent rapper in St. Louis. From the
Free
west side.
Foes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear some of that track.
Make that go viral like a TikTok. We don't wanna see no black men shot. I'm just showing love, I got no ops. Stun on you on purpose, hurting they feelings like they at a service. And we so out far in front of these I know it be having them nervous. Blowing on Piscotti, Louis on my person. How you run the city? Y'all niggas suburban. True power, I lie. Do rag like my turban.
Hey, watching all my moves, jocking on my moves, watching all my moves, jocking on my moves, watching all my moves, jocking on my moves. Yo, like me too, we poppin'. Now she a little boo, yeah. Hey, you.
How did that come about, Shauna B being on this track? Was it made for her? And if it wasn't, I'm glad she is, because that's when I turned up the volume.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Ray Ray and AR. They are two young men from U City who produced that track. We linked up with them. I actually met Shauna B because I'm the creative director for a magazine here called Search Party. And we were just trying to make an art magazine, and we wanted to include like an artist. And so I had read Shauna B's story previously because she was in a really bad car accident. And she was like really bad and like recovered from it. And I just kind of fell in love with her music and her story. So me and her connected that way. And I wasn't making music when we did the cover story and all that stuff. And then once we heard this beat and stuff, I was like, dang, we need to call Shauna because it's like, this is a perfect track for her. Mm-hmm. And that's how it came about.
Yeah, not only are we rappers, we are also great producers.
Yes.
Like we were really good at, because we listened to so much music in our life, we could hear people on certain things. And I just, like I said, we felt like she would be perfect for a song like that, her energy. Mm-hmm. And she did not disappoint. Mm-hmm. I mean, we started it off and we brought her in and she's like a real pro.
Yeah.
Like
Literally.
I said, she could be just as big as Sexy Red. Like she is one of the best female rappers I've ever heard from the city. So
Yeah.
The next song I want to hear, to me, it has a 90s feel, like something that might have been part of like the basketball team warm-up music. Okay. And that is It's Up.
okay.
Let's listen to a little bit of this.
Pull up, I'm home. Let me know what you got a taste for. It's a pre-roll, put a flame to it. Easy zone got me feeling like Jesus. Thank God it's sundress season. You know what I want, I need it. I need it, I need it. Smelling like Chanel, baby it's Tenelle. You in the condo like it's a hotel. Pour it up, I ain't been tipsy in a while. Put some up in your mouth, let me love you like a spouse. How you flying out of town just to hold it down. Feeling your vibe, feeling your style. And I ain't seen you in a while. Give me the top that I've been dreaming about.
I need me some company. You know what I'm needing. You know what I'm feeling. I don't need a sneaky. I just need a freaky freak. You know what I'm needing. You know what I'm feeling.
So that's It's Up. Am I hearing some interpolation of Tenelle Jones's You Know What's Up featuring Lisa Left Eye Lopez from 99?
You know what's up.
I know what's up thanks to our producer Maya Norfleet. She pointed it out and then I heard it. And then it even more so put me in that place where like being on the bus going to a game and listening to music through headphones.
Yeah.
Is that something you were going for at all, or?
It's kind of, I feel like just it happened naturally. But I mean, we make life music. We always say that. So we make music in different moods. Like if it's a plate, we got vegetables, we got dessert, we got a bunch of different things. So
I think something though that was intentional about all of these songs from Volume 1 is that we have never in our previous music really, we always worked with one producer. We kind of created our own sound that was adjacent to maybe what was commercially going on. And once we moved to Chicago, we just got an opportunity to just kind of live in at a studio we used to work at called At the Studio. Shout out to all those guys and girls. But those people really just opened our ears up to so much more. Like, we always know we could have rapped on that stuff. We just never tried.
Okay.
It was that kind of a thing because we were going for our own thing. And so that really opened us up. And I think Volume 1 is just kind of like a palette of like what you hear on the radio. Mm-hmm. Whatever you like, whatever your mood is, whatever you're kind of looking for from rappers, Volume 1, we're back.
Okay.
But I can't see, at halftime, I definitely could see people dancing. Like, you know how the dancers come out?
Definitely.
Like, that is definitely a song when they just out there, you know.
1, 2.
Yeah.
If it's not making you move, then
Then it's
Call the
not
city, man.
music.
Call the
Right,
city
right.
up. They got one more home game.
the title of this new album is 20,000 Hours Volume 1, Return of the Gods. So if there's a Volume 1, Volume
Naturally.
2, naturally. But you said you are not microwave artists. Will the next album be coming out sooner than in 5 years from now?
Definitely.
Definitely. We finishing it up now, actually.
And,
okay.
And to that point of not being a microwave artist, it's like it's songs that we've been working on 20,000 hour series, I would say, for like 2 to 3 years. So even though this music is just now coming out, I mean, some of that music was from 2021, some of it's 2022, 2023.
It's just timeless.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's kind of also a barometer for us too. Like, we got songs that we can put out that sound super relevant today that we wrote 5 years ago. And that's just kind of...
But this is like our Star Wars.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Sure, it's going to be a franchise.
Yep. So the first one's Return of the Gods. We actually, the tentative title for Volume 2 is The Devil's Defeat. So, and that's, nobody knows that but y'all now. So,
Okay.
exclusive.
yeah.
Baby, come with me. I need me some company. You know when I'm needed. You know when I'm feeling.
You can listen to the album and at full volume wherever you stream your music. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you. We
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Great time.
Can't wait to come back.
I need me some company. You know when I'm needed. You know when I'm feeling. I don't need a sneaky. I just need a freaky. No.
This episode was produced, recorded, and edited by Maya Norfleet.
Our audio engineer is Aaron Doran. This podcast was mixed and edited by Aaron.
Our executive producer is Alex Hoyer.
St. Louis on the Air is a production of St. Louis Public Radio. Understanding starts here.
St. Louis on the Air proudly supports local artists by using music from Life Creative Group.
Do you find yourself regularly listening to episodes of St. Louis on the Air? Suggest us to a friend you think might enjoy our conversations, and leave us a review and rating on Apple Podcasts on the App Store. It's the simplest way to help people discover our show. Thank you.
St. Louis Public Radio is a member-supported service of the University of Missouri St. Louis.
Support comes from Missouri Forest Products Association, committed to sustainable and sound conservation of the state's forests, which support more than 41,000 Missouri jobs, resulting in a $10 billion industry. ChooseWood.com.